Phew. We finally finished with cleaning up everything left in the apartment. My name is Nanami, 28 years old. I work at a manufacturer as an administrator. 1 year ago, I married my husband Kazuto, who is 2 years older than me.
Yeah, this is the dream house we always wanted.
It is. I'm so grateful to your parents. Just recently, we built a house on the land that Kazuto's parents owned. As for why we built it on their land, it was for the simple reason that they had the empty space that they weren't using. Because we didn't have to purchase the plot of land, the expenses to build a new house were a lot cheaper. My father-in-law and mother-in-law were both kind people, and because they warmly welcomed me and their family as their daughter-in-law, I didn't mind that my in-laws were nearby either. We cleaned up the apartment and let it go, and a few hours later, we arrived at our new home and had the movers carrying our belongings. Our house is the best. We need to start thinking about the interior decor. Yes, I'm coming.
Sorry to bother you.
Oh my, it's beautiful from the front door.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's so nice. We almost wanted you to trade houses with us.
Well, that's gonna be a problem. But because we had the mortgage on this house, maybe we can trade with you.
Oh goodness, Kazuto.
So Kazuto began a tour of the house for his parents. During that time, I started opening up the cardboard boxes with our things and began storing them.
Nanami, to celebrate today, we're gonna take you to a Chinese restaurant.
What? Thank you very much.
The kitchen isn't cleaned up yet, and I'm sure you don't have any ingredients. So you should come over to our house for breakfast tomorrow morning.
Wow, that would be great. That evening, we all headed towards the Chinese restaurant. It looks delicious. Fried rice, mild tofu, and tea to drink. Everything looks delicious. My stomach was growling at the sight of the food. Oh, pardon me.
No. Let's get to eating then.
Kazuto, my father-in-law, and I started eating the food. But then...
Is it just me, or does it taste kind of weird?
Really? Everything tastes delicious.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Nanami, what do you think?
I think it's delicious, but I suppose everybody has their own preferences. Would you like to try my fried rice? It's really delicious.
Sure.
However, my mother-in-law didn't eat that much dinner. I wonder if she didn't really like this Chinese restaurant. That being said, the four of us had a fun time at dinner, talking and eating. The next day, I decided to take my mother-in-law's offer, and we went to Kazuto's parents' house for breakfast. I had been to their house many times before, but until now, because we had always gone out to eat or ordered to delivery, this was my first time having my mother-in-law's cooking. I can't wait. She had prepared for us white rice, pickles, natto, grilled fish, miso soup, and fruit. This is such a traditional Japanese breakfast.
It's been a while since I've had your breakfast, Mom.
Kazuto and I were both working full-time. Every morning was hectic. So usually, we both take care of our own breakfast. For me, I have bread, yogurt, and coffee. It's a menu that I can eat in 3 minutes. And that's because I prioritize my sleep more than my appetite. Thank you for the breakfast. I put the miso soup to my mouth. At that moment...
Are you okay, Nanami?
Yes, it just went down the wrong way. But that was a lie. And in reality, what the heck is this? Why is it so super sweet? It wasn't the sweetness from the miso or the ingredients. How do I say this? It tasted like she had melted a bunch of crepes into the miso soup. Just thought it was hard to describe, but anyway, it was sweet. This was the first time I ever had a miso soup like this.
You don't need to rush so much. This is a weekend anyway.
You're right. Kazuto and his father were eating it like it was normal. Wait a minute, am I the one that's wrong? Well, miso soup is pretty different depending on the family, so maybe this is just their style. I had a hard time understanding it, but I forced myself to believe that. I finished drinking the miso soup, and I cleansed my palate with the pickles and the rice. The pickles were purchased, and all you have to do is grill the fish. Everything else is normal.
You're going out for the afternoon, right?
Yes.
In that case, please come over for dinner again.
Oh no, I don't want to impose that much.
It's fine. It's boring with just my husband away.
Hey!
Well then, I believe we will take you up on that offer this evening as well. Even though the super sweet miso soup came out, I managed to swallow it and get it down. That afternoon we went shopping, and it was so much fun buying new things to go with our new house. And before we knew it, it was already the evening.
Today I made fried chicken, and also potato salad, and miso soup, full of mushroom.
There it is again. Alright, first I'm going to finish drinking the miso soup that's too sweet. And then I'm going to reset with a potato salad that looks salty. That's my plan.
Woohoo! Looks delicious.
Thank you for this meal. I took one sip of the miso soup.
Nanami, didn't you choke this morning too?
Yes, it was so delicious that I couldn't help it. No, this is even sweeter than it was this morning. What's going on? What is she putting in this? The mushrooms were basically just texture, and there wasn't a hint of flavor of the mushroom. I just need to somehow finish this and make it to the potato salad. I barely even chewed the mushrooms, and I just let everything pass through my throat.
Even though it's just miso soup, you're drinking it like it's your first beer after work.
So I took a bite of the potato salad.
What's the matter?
Oh, it was just so delicious.
You keep saying such happy things. There's plenty of seconds.
Thank you very much. Maybe later. As if I could ever eat seconds of this. The potato salad was unbelievably salty, and it was also sour. I'm sure there was a massive amount of salt and pepper. But did she also mix in vinegar? And plenty of mayonnaise? It was so salty that I didn't know what else was in there, but it was clear that she definitely had the wrong measurements. If it's fried chicken, I'm sure there won't be any problems, because all you have to do is fry it. They sell the batter for fried chicken anyway. Super delicious.
Oh my. Well, please do eat as much as you want.
I can't do this. The fried chicken is the worst. If I'm going to say it in one word, it was vomit. Even though it all looked normal, I couldn't understand how anybody could make dishes turn out like this.
Man, it's so good.
Kazuto was eating more and more. And that was so strange, I couldn't understand. My father-in-law was also eating like it was normal. Wait a minute, could it be that my taste buds have gone wrong? I somehow finally managed to finish eating.
That's right. Because you're both working full-time. You should just come over for dinner every evening. That would be more fun for us too.
Oh, seriously? That would be helpful, right, Nami?
But I don't want to bother you so much.
What are you saying? We are family now, so I want to eat all together.
Thank you very much. That night I asked Kazuto a question. Hey, Kazuto, do you find my cooking to taste good?
Yeah,
Well then, what about your mom's cooking?
it's good, isn't it? It's that mom's homemade cooking taste. It touched me. What is it? Are you trying to compete against my mom?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But how do I say this? I don't know if your mom's cooking goes down well for me.
What the hell is that? Are you saying my mom's cooking doesn't taste good? Even though she's making it for us?
No, I am really grateful for the thought, but
Sheesh, you complain too much. It's probably because you never ate it before. So you're just shocked at how great it is. You can just get more used to it little by little.
no. But I don't think it's a matter of getting used to it.
Shut up. You've only had her dinner this one time. Maybe you just happen to not like it this time. Yeah, I'm going to sleep now.
Just as I thought, Kazuto didn't think anything of it. If anything, it seems like he preferred his mom's cooking over mine. I'm gonna have to eat that every single day from now on? I was so hungry, so I ate a bag of the cookies that were in the living room. The next day during my lunch break, I was having lunch in the employee cafeteria. This is so delicious. Even though it was a fried chicken lunch set that I always eat, today it tasted better than ever. It was probably because last night I ate fried chicken that I couldn't believe was fried chicken.
Hey, Nanami. Did you just start your break?
Oh, hey, Osamu. Yeah, that's right. This was Osamu, 28 years old. He was the one person I joined the company with at the same time. Osamu currently works in the sales department. Ever since we joined the company, we've gotten along well. And when we first started, we went out to get drinks together often.
Is that a lunchbox that you have next to you? Why'd you order lunch set? Are you that hungry?
No, that's not. This is actually a lunchbox that my mother-in-law handed me in. That was before I went to work.
Good morning, Nanami.
Good morning. What's the matter?
Nanami, it seems like you really liked my cooking, so I made you a lunchbox for work. And there's one for Kazuto as well.
Thank you very much. This is a very grateful bother. But starting tomorrow, you don't need to. We have a company cafeteria anyway.
But that's going to cost you money, isn't it? That's a waste.
No. Recently, the company started bearing the cost, so it's fine.
Really? But I'm worried about the nutrition, no value. I'm sure that they're using frozen ingredients anyway.
It's fine. It's a cafeteria that has hired a proper nutritionist. I made that up. Well then, I need to get ready for work. My mother-in-law looked like she wanted to say something, but I ignored her and I closed the door.
Your mother-in-law is really kind.
No, if you try it, you would understand. When I said that, I handed the lunchbox to Osamu.
Upon first glance, it looks delicious. Thanks for letting me try it.
Osamu tried the leftover fried chicken from yesterday.
Did this go through the sewer or something?
And that's what I thought, so my taste buds weren't wrong after all. By the way, the omelet that she made for us this morning was so sweet. I could barely eat it. The only thing I could actually eat was the pickles. And so I opened up to Osamu about my mother-in-law's terrible cooking.
I see. And because your mother-in-law has a good personality, it's even more difficult.
Exactly.
But I think it would be best if you tell her that you'll handle your own food from now on. Why don't you try talking to your husband about it one more time?
You're right. I ended up throwing the lunchbox into the trash can. This meat and the eggs, I'm sorry. That day, I messaged Kazuto and we decided to go out to eat on the way home from work. When I contacted him, he seemed to be in a bad mood, asking me why we couldn't go to his parents' house. But I managed to convince him by saying I would treat him to a delicious steak. Goodbye, my salary. After work that day, I arrived at a steakhouse near my office. Hey, Kazuto, long day.
Yeah, long day. Why did you want steak out of nowhere?
I was just craving it.
In that case, you should have waited until tomorrow. My mom had already made dinner for us today.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. But why don't we order first? So, this is what I wanted to speak about. Did you eat your mom's lunchbox today?
Yeah? What about that?
I did, but can't stomach it. I had my colleague try it as well, and he agreed that it wasn't great.
Excuse me? That guy must have messed up taste buds too.
No, but I'm pretty sure it's you. Anyway, I don't need a lunchbox anymore, and I also want to eat dinner separately too.
Huh? You heard my mom. She also said that she wants to eat all together.
I'm really grateful that she feels that way, but it's really insufferable for me.
Seriously, you complain way too much. Do you realize that you married into this family? Even if you don't like it, you should do your best to just eat it.
If it was edible, then I would be eating it.
Alright, fine. You hate my mom that much, then you don't need to come to my family house anymore. I'm gonna have a dinner with my parents alone.
Huh? You're going to leave your wife?
A wife like that, it's a given. I feel sorry for my mom. I don't need steak either today, because my mom's cooking is the most delicious anyway.
As Kazuto said that, he stormed out of the restaurant. This is unbelievable. Why can't he have a conversation about this or try to find a solution together with me? We're a married couple, aren't we? But his mom is all he cares about? He has an Oedipus complex. And so, 2 steaks arrived in front of me. No, there's no way I could finish all of this. I knew that Osamu was still in the office working overtime, and when I called him, apparently he had just left the office. He arrived within 10 minutes, and he cleaned up the plate in no time. I would hate to waste food, no matter what, so I'm glad he came. When I got home a few hours later, wasn't coming home from his house. What is this? This little tantrum. The next morning, Kazuto came over to get his clothes for work, but he quickly left without saying a word. But I didn't receive a lunchbox from my mother-in-law that day, so there was no doubt that Kazuto must have said something. But I was worried that maybe he said the wrong thing. My mother-in-law's cooking was the only thing that bothered me, but everything other than that I liked about her. Whoa, I don't have time to be thinking about this. I'm gonna be late. As usual, I headed toward my office that day, and then I finished work on time. Instead of stopping anywhere today, I went straight home. But then, wait a minute, what happened to all of the cardboard boxes that were here? Because we were unpacking and moving in, little by little, there were still a couple of cardboard boxes that hadn't been opened yet. But those boxes were missing. Because Kazuto hadn't come home from work yet, there should be no reason they would be moved. But, the furniture in the living room has also been moved around, and there's a lot more stuff around the kitchen too. Things that had been in the cardboard boxes were scattered throughout the house. But how? At that moment, the front door that I had locked opened up.
Oh, it's you, Nanami. Welcome home.
Ma'am? But how?
I received a key from Kazuto yesterday. He said that you still haven't finished unpacking, so I thought that I would help you clean up.
No, but for you to open the boxes without us here is a little...
I heard from Kazuto already that you seem to not like me, Nanami. So I want to be able to help you a little bit, and I want you to like me just a little bit more.
This is the opposite of fact. I'm very thankful for the thought, but...
So it's true. I guess you hate me.
No, I don't know what Kazuto may have said to you, but I don't hate you at all.
That's a lie, because he said that I was causing you trouble.
This has become even more of a pain. I didn't want to make this conversation more complicated, so this is where I decided to speak my truth. I feel terribly sorry to say this, but it's just that I'm averse to your cooking.
Oh, was there something in it that you didn't like?
No, it's more about the seasoning. The flavors don't seem to go for me. But please, I really do like you.
So you're saying that my cooking is bad?
No, I'm just saying that I grew up in a different environment. And so there are some things that Kazuto may enjoy, but that I don't enjoy as much. And that's not just in regards to your cooking. I was trying to be careful with my words, but I was honest. And this was for both of our sakes. She might yell at me, but there was nothing I could do about that. And that's what I was preparing for. But my mother-in-law's attitude transformed worse than I imagined.
What? What the hell is that? Even you are going to say that? Even though I'm doing so much for you? All of this for you.
Even me? Is there somebody else?
So you want to tell me that it tastes terrible, is that right? Even though all I wanted was to see you enjoying my food. And that's why I cooked for you.
No, but I am truly happy for that sentiment, but I'm sorry.
But also, are you sure that it's not your taste buds that are messed up? There must be something wrong with you that you would think that cooking's that this delicious doesn't taste good. Oh, is it because you grew up in a poor household? If I remember correctly, your dad worked in a factory. I'm sure he wasn't making any decent salary anyway.
Hey, this has nothing to do with my father.
I bet he was just grabbing some weeds from around there and cooking that. Some grass that probably had some dog poop on it.
Even though your fried chicken tastes exactly like that, I got so angry that I unintentionally spit out my true feelings.
You're saying that my fried chicken tastes like dog poop? How can you say that? You're awful. This is too much.
So this is what they call hysteria. My mother-in-law started crying and screaming. A bear decoration that we had in the living room came flying at me and it scraped my cheek. Hey! When I looked in the mirror, my cheek was a little bit scratched and red.
What's going on here?
Kazuto had just gotten home, and the first thing he did was go to his mother. He didn't seem worried about my face whatsoever.
Mommy, are you okay? What did Nanami do to you?
Mommy? I had a slight feeling that he had an Oedipus complex, but I can't believe that he just called her mommy. But you know what? I don't mind that he called her mommy. I was mostly shocked and furious that he had been hiding his true nature until now.
Nanami says that my cooking tastes terrible. My homemade cooking?
It's okay. Your cooking is the best in the world, Mommy.
And by that, you mean the worst.
Nanami, what did you say to her?
It's the truth, so I can't help it. I understand that everybody has different taste.
But my mommy's cooking is delicious no matter who has it.
If that's how you feel, then that's fine. But I don't feel that way. And so all I did was ask us to have separate meals. It doesn't mean that I dislike your mother. Well, I also don't like that she's opening up the cardboard boxes without my permission.
Why are you rejecting all my mom's kindness? How dare you?
That's right. I'm doing all this because I thought it would help you.
It's fine, Mommy.
Ugh. As we were having an argument, perhaps those voices leaked outside because my father-in-law arrived. Kazuto also rushed on his way in, and he forgot to lock the door, so the front door must have been opened.
What's the matter? Nanami, your cheek is a cut on it. Are you okay?
Wait a minute. Maybe my father-in-law will be on my side. So I told him everything.
I see.
Isn't that unbelievable, honey? I can't believe she was a daughter-in-law like this.
Seriously, it's unbelievable. I'm talking about you.
What? What are you saying, Dad?
Nanami, I'm truly sorry. I'm sure that all those meals were painful for you. I really understand how you feel.
That reminds me, my mother-in-law said even you. Could it be that she was talking about her husband?
Tell you the truth, when we first got married, I didn't know what to do. And my wife and I had gotten into many fights about it.
What? But how were you able to make it this far?
My wife and I were a shotgun wedding. She was pregnant with Kazuto. I didn't want to get into fights and cause her more stress. And I also didn't want to get divorced and make our child suffer. That's why I was able to tolerate it. Well, I suppose you could say I had no choice but to tolerate it.
Well then, if she wasn't pregnant with Kazuto then...
I'm sure we would have broken up.
But you were eating it like it was normal, weren't you?
Yeah. Perhaps I must have gotten used to it. I'm going to be honest. I no longer think it's delicious, nor do I think it's terrible anymore. Also, I'm truly so sorry that Kazuto is only taking his mother's side.
Why are you saying that? In this situation, it's clear that Nanami is in the wrong.
Shut up! What are you going to do as a husband when you're not even going to listen to what your wife has to say? Maybe you don't think anything of it because you've been eating your mother's food ever since you were little. But for the rest of the world, You've got an extreme case of messed up taste buds.
No way!
Nanami, this is my son, but I wouldn't understand if you want to get a divorce. I'm going to leave the decision entirely in your hands, Nanami.
Hey, we have the loan on the house to pay. And what about the chores around here?
My father-in-law was always very calm, but he looks like a monster as he started yelling at Kazuto.
When things become inconvenient for you, you're going to try to take them back. That's enough already.
Ah!
And you too. This is a perfect opportunity. I am retiring next year, and after I retire, I want to spend my leisurely time for myself.
Well, I'm going to meet somebody that's going to eat my food deliciously. So, whatever.
And with that, my father-in-law left the house. I was also told I don't need a wife that doesn't like my mom's cooking. And Kazuto and I quickly got a divorce. For the record, I decided not to sue them for the injury on my cheek. It healed quickly and the process would have been a chore. As for our new house, Kazuto is living there with his mother. Because my father-in-law's house was quite old, apparently they demolished it at the same time as their divorce. Well, on the bright side, maybe it was good that I was able to know his true nature while the marriage was still fresh. Oh, it's Kazuto. After the divorce, because I didn't hear a word from Kazuto, I had completely forgotten to block him. Hello?
Hey, where are you right now?
My family house, why?
In that case, you can come back straight away.
Huh? Did you forget that we got a divorce?
Let's get remarried. I miss your cooking, Nanami.
What are you saying? Even though you were telling me how delish and amazing your mom's cooking is?
Well, about that. Ever since that incident, apparently it was shocking to my mom that she started putting more effort into her cooking. But now, it doesn't taste good anymore.
No, it's never tasted good. And that got even worse. That's the worst. But also it's a mystery to me how it could possibly get worse from that.
And plus, if I give her any opinions that are against it, she goes into hysterics. And if I go out to eat too much, she gets annoying, asking if it's because I hate her cooking.
That's none of my business. You didn't help me either, so there's no reason I should help you. I hung up and immediately blocked Kazuto's number. About 3 months passed after that, and one day at lunch.
Hey, Nanami, do you have a lunchbox today? Wait a minute. Is it from that mother-in-law?
No, it's not. That reminds me, that former mother-in-law, apparently she's been hospitalized.
Hospitalized?
Yeah, the other day. I ran into my former father-in-law by coincidence. And apparently my ex-husband had called him. As it turns out, her blood sugar was extremely high and that her digestive system had a lot of problems.
Well, if she was eating an even more powered-up version of that terrible cooking, I can see that.
Apparently, my ex-husband had been taken to the hospital a number of times too.
Interesting. Well, they did it to themselves. So, what's in your lunchbox?
Fried chicken that I made. Do you want to try some?
Oh, looks delicious. Thank you.
How is it?
So good. Hey, I become your husband. Can I eat this every day?
Huh?
Just kidding.
Why did my heart just give a beat at what Osamu said? This time, I hope I can get married to somebody who truly thinks that my cooking is delicious.